But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Right from the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a dub for a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check and to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call, for real. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Right from the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach. And this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Stafford on first down. And he will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Stafford now to throw. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week: 16 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
On first down at Stafford. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mohamed Sanu, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Get set! 21.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Garoppolo to throw on second down. Steps away to his left. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, yeah! 13.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A nice gain of 21 yards. The pitch to Fournette, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on third and long?
Black 80.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
Well, I think everything was impressive about that one, except they didn't get a first down. But I like their field position now after that play.
Yeah, now you got a pretty makeable field goal opportunity. Over the middle, Dorsett. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Philip Dorsett with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. They get to the football. It's blocked. This is going the other way. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry, it's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them, because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. On first down, Stafford here. He gets this one to Garcon. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of the times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. For those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
I enjoy talking about and watching A.J. Boye play, because when he was in Houston, he worked his way up from a nickel corner, sometimes a dime cornerback, all the way up to a starter. Now, his first Pro Bowl in 2017, this time with the Jacksonville Jaguars after signing with them as a free agent, and had 6 interceptions, tied for second in the NFL. I love his physical, aggressive style, always going for the football.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Sitting with a grab over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. But clearly that was a design play. I just don't know that it was the right design. Your holder to have him pick it up and kind of be the power guy trying to run through the middle. Everything has to go right for that to work.
You mean you weren't relying on just great blocking to get him through? You kind of think maybe he can make his own way if he's an actual running back instead of the holder? Yeah, I thought the same thing.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On second down, here's Fournette. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
13.
A handoff to Fournette. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. These two teams, of course, met in the much-dissected NFC divisional round game a season ago, and they also met in the Monday night opener last year. And Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota, gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. It was actually Peterson's replacement, though, Dalvin Cook, who went for 127 yards in a 29-19 Viking victory. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Fournette on the counter. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Garoppolo again. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
After the interception, here's Stafford. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, he can flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Try to force it into Edelman there, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Leonard Fournette. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
That is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after him because now...
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll toss it to Fournette. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They needed 19, and that's precisely what they got. And by the length of a football, it's a first down. Now Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. The 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I think you're going into halftime with a... Good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Bullock good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That late... The clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On first down, it's Stafford. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Stafford. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And Bullock will put this one through. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Patrick Mahomes, a touchdown pass in the victory. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Redskins. 28-10, the final. And finally on Monday Night Football, the costumes will be out for the final game of October. Patriots and Bills from Buffalo. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
1, Omaha. 11.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
21.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Here we go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's a give to Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Garoppolo looks to throw. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They've been stopped twice at the 1. Can they finally break through on 3rd and goal? They come up in an offset eye. Here's Fournette, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready?
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carlos Dunlap. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Stafford now to throw. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Take it in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards.
65.
He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Left side, it's Dorsett. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Akeem Hicks in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, the D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in what you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover two, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A toss running left, Fournette. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And able to find Dorsett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. Garoppolo now. The left side completion to Jones. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. So the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Hurry up.
On first down, Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Garoppolo on first down. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Buying time to, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him for his second sack of the night. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Here's Stafford now on second down. Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Set. 180.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Being chased out left. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Philip Dorsett, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is? Is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford on 1st down. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
his position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. On second down, here's Stafford. And this one brought in by Sanu. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it. And he... pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for New Orleans. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
To throw on second down to Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Throwing is Stafford. Open man right side is Ingram. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
To throw is Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devon Kennard. In from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Bullock will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
21.
Fournette on the toss to the right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
I'm going to forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
forward. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. I think it all came together there. In breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He finds Ivory here. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford, middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now a first down throw. Stafford. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Throwing again is Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. One last throw here for Stafford. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points and continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings,